Hello, I'm from Pellet Birdsong. What is Pellet Birdsong? We're a UK registered charity. We do what's called extreme citizen science, and we just try to engage as many people as we possibly can with bird sounds in as many ways as possible. So that includes we got a lot of recording projects. Developed this thing, the perch, which we use a lot in Africa, which is an incredibly low cost parabola. This is version 28, so we've done quite a lot of work on refining it. And that's, your average parabola sets you back a good many £100, if not a grand or two. This one costs about £30 maximum. We're bringing it down from mass east of Africa. A lot of our other work, we work. I'm actually a professional musician. We do a lot of work with music, which we're going to come on to very shortly. And also we make games of various sorts, and we're going to encourage you to take part in our Birdsong Studio, which is coming up soon. One of our projects is to make a curlew game, which will be, and if anyone would like to help me with this, I really need some help, because we're trying to catalogue as many of the curlew sounds as we possibly can. You've already heard quite a few of them this afternoon. There's a few more coming up. But if anyone thinks they've got a kind of handle on, it's very hard because different curlews have different personalities. They make different sounds. I've got at least 15 different sounds that I think you can differentiate between, but not all curlews seem to use the same sounds for the same purposes. So if anyone can help, that would be really helpful. How do we get into curlews? Well, for 3 years we were working in Littledale with the Wild Watch, and there I got talking to a lot of conservationists, did a lot of school projects, met some gamekeepers and farmers, and quizzed them all about what curlew sounds they knew. And then one gamekeeper in Littledale, Roy Burrows, told me he could tell at half a mile's distance whether a curlew has seen a fox or a stoat reliably. So I think the curlew language is definitely something to be developed. But if we get all of that into a game that was fun to play, that would be a real step forward, and we're currently on the case with that. We're also, a lot of our work at the moment is in Africa, because we're partners with Cornell University and BirdLife International in the big year of African sound. And our job, most of you are probably familiar with the Merlin app, which currently works really well over here and pretty well in the States and very badly in Africa. You need about 100 to 150 recordings per species. So we've got a really huge citizen science push in Africa this year to try and get Merlin working at least for a decent proportion of the species in Africa. So here's just a few. I just thought I'd play you a few. These are 3 recordings I made up at Bolton Castle. I think Jill was there at the time. So this is first of all, we're trying to catch a chick for rigging. So first of all, you've got the commotion as the ringer moves towards the chick. That's 3 pairs of curlews all circling around, trying to distract us. Supernova. As the ringer gets close to the chick, more calls. So there's quite a few different calls, including some silly girly. Then when the chick was caught, team returns to Keats, he stays shy. That's all you can hear after the chick was actually caught. And he started you. And then after the chick, as the ringer rang away, having ringed the chick, completely different sound again. So I just thought I'd play those to give you a little idea of the complexity of how many sounds curlews make. So I'm now going to introduce you to our little curlew competition, which we're going to be running. And we're going to be concentrating on the main song of the curlew, which you all know. Familiar, very mellifluous sound. Like most bird songs, it's quite fast and quite high. So what happens if you slow it down? This is the quarter speed. It's like a chord, isn't it? Very much the sort of chord you might hear on these Kavinsky. So, my trombone bass off a bit. It's a bit like that. So it's very much related to the reason why it's so familiar, and I think why we love it so much, is because it is related to the music that we make. Now, how does that happen? Why does Curlew Song sound so pleasing to the ear? So this is to do with the harmonic series, and I'm not going to read all of that out. You'll be glad to hear. But if people are sort of reasonably, if you know they've had sound, you might like to read that. Otherwise, I'm trying to sort of using a trombone. Our chords are made up of most musical instruments. They either a column of air or a string, which sound resonates. And it resonates at various nodes. And you have what's called a fundamental pitch, which... And then you'll notice I'm not moving the slide at all. If I just blow up. And so on. And those, you'll hear, those, I didn't do any of these apart from change the speed at which the air is going up the tube. And first of all, you have a quite big interval, we call a fifth, then you get a fourth, then you get a major third, and then minor third. And you will have heard the curlew game. So it's exactly using those harmonics. And you'll have heard, it was one of the recordings that in the last presentation from the South Lakes, where the curlew was actually attacked by the stone, but it did the whole octave. But it was still, if you listen to that again, you'll find it was an octave. So not all birds do this. Quite a few birds don't. If you slow down something like a robin song, there's absolutely no attempt to use a harmonic series at all. And I'd almost say they sing out of tune with themselves. They're just not interested in that kind of thing. And it really varies from species to species, but the curlew, probably of all the birds in this country, I'd say is the one who most conspicuously exploits. And all of those pools, curly, 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 it's always using the harmonic series, which is a bit like our yodeling. It can also, as you'll hear, let's go back to the song. It can also, on the trombone, I've got the slide, I can do that. So the curlew can also vary its pitch using the tongue. So it has anything you can do, a curlew can do on trombone, and vice versa. It's a very similar system. So you've got this, for which I don't have to be walking. Which a curlew also does. And if I play the slowed down song again, that should be fairly obvious, I hope. If you can hear that. So the other element that is interesting is that the curlew bird, so most birds, it's difficult. When you try and generalize about almost anything, you find you're wrong. But nearly all birds have a thing, they don't have vocal cords like we have. They have a syrinx, which is a muscular tube that divides into two. Therefore, you will see that the curlew can make two noises at the time, so it can sing a chord. And that it also can sing while it's inhaling, so it doesn't have to kind of breathe in the way that we do. You see, while it's inhaling and exhaling. No one's really sorted out exactly what's going on with these two syrinxes and exactly what's in and what's out. So that's still an area for research. But all of that gives you an idea of why curlew sound is so familiar. And the other question that I'd just like to ask is, oh, sorry, no, that's not there, no to do. I want to go, I did my sides in slightly wrong order. So why do birds do this? So it's believed, and I copied this off the internet, so I'm not an expert, but the use of harmonic intervals is believed to be an active biological choice rather than the result of physical constraints in the bird's spirit. It's easy. The curlew can sing whatever pitch it likes. It doesn't have to use the harmonic series, but it feels nice. It gives it more options. And then at the bottom, researchers believe that birds use these harmonic patterns because they're easier to learn and remember, because it feels nice. You've got those natural harmonic resonances, which is just the natural thing, and a way to signal social status to potential mates. So that's broadly gives you a quick introduction to curlew sounds. Now, from the point of view of what we're going to ask you to do in this competition, let's go to the birdsong studio. And is Peter here? No, he's not, but he'll introduce himself on this little.
Hello, I'm Peter Triplin, and I run the birdsong studio. I can turn your voice into a bird of your choice. You have to pick from a list of local birds, and then after you can both slow down if you use copy.
So that's where it's using the two sides of the song simultaneously. This is what you're going to be doing. Oh, it's you. Hit press. You get to keep it. So as you can hear, it works pretty well. Ooh, there's another one. So this is a curlew. So good. So some people take it very seriously, some don't. So just go with whatever you feel like. We did run a competition once before in at Bolton Castle, and rather embarrassingly, it was won. This was in the room where Mary Queen of Scots was imprisoned, and our competition in this room was rather embarrassingly won by. So I'm sure you will agree that it would be very embarrassing if Mary were to win again this time. If you could please lift your game to the extent at which you beat that, that would be really helpful. So we're also going to. It's rather sad, but we have also. There is this one recording which you heard in the previous presentation of the slender-billed curlew. We don't really know what it is. It was one of a group of three males in Morocco. So it probably wasn't the main song of the slender-billed curlew, but it would have been some sort of related thing that they do in winter. This is what it sounds like. So we have a slowed down version of that. So you can choose. There'll be a separate prize for the slender-billed curlew and the curlew. And So that's to enjoy. Now the sign-up board is at the back there. If you could please sign up. If anyone's not going to, because there's going to be quite a lot of competition for the spaces. If you could possibly, if people are not going to Morecambe Bay tomorrow, if they could possibly sign up for a slot while everyone else is away, that would be really helpful. But if you could sign up as soon as possible, that's going to make it easier to coordinate. And finally, we did manage to find out in the wild a
Awesome. Especially for your own solicitation.
where it must be this one. We did manage to find a rather unusual curlew out in the fields. So that is also to beat. So might be quite hard. And there's a rumour that Kathy the Curlew may be on her way onto the campus as we speak. Oh! So Kathy, you got Mary and Kathy to be. So thank you very much. Look forward very much to seeing you in the birdsong video. And to talking to lots of you over the weekend. Thank you very much indeed. Stunning.
That was stunning.
I'm not sure whether we should call security now.
So, thank you, Peter. That was brilliant. Brilliant.
So our next